The Ertl Collection was a brand of Thomas toys produced by the Ertl Company from 1984 to 2004, a 20-year run of glorious die-cast trains. From TV characters to obscure Ertl characters, they had it all, but beneath the surface were many that never quite made it. Welcome back to the workshop, everyone, and today we will be looking into Ertl's lost models. Prototypes are common in toy lines to be a kind of proof of concept to test the idea. Thomas isn't new to this. Many from Wooden Railway have been found in particular, but Ertl has its own range of prototype characters. After Series 2 in 1986, models of the new characters were being readied for the Ertl market. At this time, all of the characters used sticker faces and often came with two expressions. Therefore, characters such as Duck, Diesel, Boko, and Bill and Ben were planned to be made in this format. Now these range from different molds, paint schemes, and faces, the most notable being Duck, who went through a complete retooling before his release in 1990. I really love this original model, but I can see why they went with the final option. I get the impression that the original Duck may have been too tall, but part of me wants to make my own version of it. It's so retro feeling, I love it. Boko, despite not changing too much, had higher cab windows, a paper face, and red buffers, which I wish we got. It's just so good. He had a few models that we know of, even up until his release. These are just two of many from this time. These types of prototypes also appear earlier in the line, like with Toby in 1988 and Percy in 1987. There are many of these early versions of characters that pop up, so we can't really be sure how many versions of some characters there were. It's very interesting to think about though. What would have some of these characters been like? Better or worse? After 1990, all characters had plastic faces moving forward. Sticker faces after this were used as a test, but we don't really have too many of these besides Daisy, Mavis, and Bill and Ben. Many of these prototypes could be seen in promotional material and have various differences from the final products, ranging from face sculpts to paint schemes and finishes. Bill and Ben honestly look so much better than their final molds. Is it just me, or do they look smaller? These two have been on my to-do list to redo since they are huge. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. Jumping forward a little bit, some of my favorites are actually the narrow gauge engines. Many of these were based on the real locomotives and used the Railway Series colour schemes. Skarloey and Rheneas both have black running boards and blue lining. This can also be seen in Skarloey's promo material, which is pretty neat. I like it a lot. Other examples of this is D199, a Railway Series only character that strangely got a lot of merchandise. His original model has a fully yellow front and a different face. Nice. Toad also had a face like this, and it's terrifying. George had a Railway Series model variant before his TV appearance, which looks stunning. I wish we got this. It would have been so cool to have both versions of him. I can only assume they made this just before it was announced that George was going to be in the show. Interesting. Now, there's a massive rabbit hole of prototypes, and I won't touch on all of them because there are just so many with slight different colors or faces, so I'll move on to some significant examples from the later years. Scruffy is a rather nice example with hand-painted details and an interesting face. Bluebell might actually be one of the biggest examples here. Originally a complete new tooling, which looks so good. I've been thinking about making this myself. Instead, we just got a lazy Thomas recolor. Pretty boring, to be honest. Lady was a Rheneas recolor to begin with, which is so random to me. The final is so much better. I can't believe they even got that far with that one. After this, most of the examples are pretty minor, but many models were planned for release of 2005. However, they were canned after the line ended. Mike is probably the most interesting. It would have been a great model to go along with Jock and Frank. And the Skarloey Railway coaches, Agnes and Jemima, are just beautiful. Although I imagine they may be a little bit large, I'm not sure. Oddly titled The Truck from the Caldy Fell Railway, it's nice. Nothing too special, but honestly, I think the most unique here is Birdie. This one's really nice. It's the first instance of an official upgrade of a character in the line. Makes me wonder if the other molds would have been updated in time. It's interesting to think about. There are another type of prototype, which are just the final molds in test colors to gauge if they worked or not. A few examples of these are Emily and Fergus from 2003, and even some earlier examples from the late 80s and the early 90s. Thomas even had one in the mid 90s, which I assume is for his retooling around them, not too sure. However, there are significantly less examples that we know of. So, what happened to them? If you're lucky, you might find some pop up online somewhere, but most of these are likely lost to time. What do you think? Are there any that catch your interest? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. Hey guys, just a little end note here again. I apologize for the bit of the silence recently. To be honest, I didn't want to overcrowd my channel too much and run low on my ideas. I'm actually rearing up to go on an overseas trip, so that's been my priority for the moment. But no fear, I'm still here. I plan to get some things out before I go, so thank you, and I'll see you later. Bye.